Hi, everybody. It's Randy Hilarski here with Crypto Daily. Today, I'm talking to Mike Patel, CEO of DeFiBench. And he's got some great stuff to talk to you about. I've known Mike for many years. I actually met him in Prague. I think it was 2017. We had a crypto meetup, and we just started talking, and we became friends. And I met him both times I've gone to Prague with my family. Good buddies. We also were in Crypto Coin Trader, a group on Facebook together. So over the years, we've become good friends. And today, Mike wants to talk about his new project called DeFiBench. And Mike, tell me about what's going on in crypto today.
Wow. Hi, Randy. First of all, what a beautiful day to connect. And I think the market is so green today. It's exciting. There is so much excitement across crypto Twitter right now. My feed is going crazy. All the friends who haven't reached out for last at least 6 months have sent me a message. Hey, bro, what's happening with Bitcoin? And I think people are starting to take notice. The all-time high has been crossed again. And I think it's great times. I think we have officially entered one of the most powerful crypto bull run, which we are yet to experience. That's what I genuinely feel it in every sense of my physical body and mind.
Yeah, and I believe this one's going to be a little bit longer. Every time we have a bull run, they get a little bit longer. So this one, I think we have a good year and a half. Personally, that's what I think we have coming for us. So I'm very excited.
Yes, I think that's true. And I think a lot of the most exciting part for me is that this is the first time we have seen institutional players or decision makers of very large centralized finance companies globally, jumping into and trying to buy 5, 10, 15, 20,000 Bitcoins. And if you look at US stock listed companies owning Bitcoin or Bitcoin treasury by Fortune 500 companies, it is really pretty solid. And I think that this is the time when maybe the retail is going to be left behind.
Yes.
If they don't act fast, because a lot of my friends are still on the fence and they're not making that quick move, and they want whatever they want to buy. Chainlink, somebody wants to buy XRP, somebody wants to buy Ethereum, whatever floats your boat. But I think people will have to decide what they believe in and go after it, because I don't think people are realizing what's coming in 2021. It's huge.
Well, the devaluation of the dollar is coming. I think that the inflation is just going to keep going nuts for the dollar, and that's going to bring a lot of money into crypto. People are going to get scared. We've already seen it happen in Argentina. We saw it happen in Venezuela, how they had the rush to crypto. I think it's just going to accelerate for the US dollar.
Zimbabwe as well. Technically, even in Turkey and now also in Iran, the national currency is completely gone. People have no safe haven after working so hard their entire life, whether it's Zimbabwe, Iran, or many other places. And the only way to hold their money, which is a little bit safe, where it doesn't go absolutely down every single day, is holding it into Bitcoin. And I personally believe, sorry for going off the topic for a second, that I think even gold and silver are showing a lot of strength. And I personally feel silver is going to really surprise people in 2021, because there's been a lot of suppression on silver or manipulation of price by some very important people who we all know, and we don't want to talk about them. But I think silver is going to go crazy in 2021. And
yeah, I've been a silver investor since 2006.
Wow.
Yeah, I was buying back then. I read Peter Schiff's book, The Dollar Collapse or something like that. And
yes.
I read that in 2006. And ever since then, I've been buying silver. I stopped when I got into Bitcoin, but I have enough physical silver, and I'm happy. It's in my hands. I don't have it in a vault somewhere. It's safe, right?
So I strongly recommend. I mean, I originally come from India and from Indian family, and for us, it's very auspicious and considered very good fortune to own some physical gold and silver, no matter how rich or poor you are.
Yes.
Especially silver, because it's still very affordable in most parts of India. People can start from as low as 10 grams and keep on going, and they keep on putting their birthday, Christmas, Diwali savings into that as well. I strongly believe that physical silver is very important, and not this ETFs and all of this, paper vapor which is floating around. Absolutely. Extremely important to own physical silver, physical gold. Extremely, extremely important.
So were you like me? Was gold and silver the thing that kind of brought you into Bitcoin? Because that's what brought me into Bitcoin. It was my
Wow.
libertarian background.
Wow. So to be honest, so gold and silver is part of family. I mean, if you ask 1.4 billion Indians right now, 90% of them have been trained to buy gold and silver at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
They've been trained to receive gifts in gold and silver coins since a very young age and never touch that till you don't have food on the table. So that's something which we get at a very early age exposure. Uh, Bitcoin, I have been a tech entrepreneur for 20 years now. Uh, and for me, Bitcoin was a very, very novel idea which actually came across, or I came across it in 2013, and I didn't look at it properly. And I said, okay, a couple of my friends are talking about it and they are trying to create some kind of mining around it and they want to run their node and stuff like that. And I thought, wow, this is good, but this cannot go mainstream for at least maybe 5 years. And then I went, looked at it after 6 months and 1 year. And there were a lot of scams and a lot of exchanges being hacked. It was a very wild, wild west situation. In a way, we are still in a wild, wild west situation for many people who are not in the space. But that got me into it. I have an engineering background, so I was very interested to understand how they have tried to create a currency which is based on mathematics and cryptography.
Yes.
And there is no central body or political family or royal family controlling it. So that always excited me a lot. And eventually I started playing with it, started trading with it, owning it. And I think it's been now almost 6.5, 7 years. Bitcoin led me into many other things in crypto and blockchain as well. And I still feel that I've been pretty lucky to be aware about this maybe 6, 7 years ago, while people or very close friends of mine still don't have decent clue about what's going on. And I have been almost yelling at my friends since 2016 for sure, when
Me
Bitcoin
too.
was $1,000, that guys just put in 5% or 10% of a liquid investment capacity into it. Don't touch it for 3, 4, 5 years. Don't trade it. Don't try to time the market. Just put, buy, and hodl. That's it. And a lot of
Absolutely.
friends have done it, and those who have not done it are now calling me like crazy every weekend and saying, "Is it too late?" I said, "Guys, there is 2% of the world population in this. How can it be too late? This is not even begun yet."
I totally agree. When was that? My first purchase was in January of 2014 of Bitcoin. Even though I started learning in 2011, at first I was I was a gold and silver guy, so I was scared to put money into something that was just bits on the computer, right? When was your
Yes.
first purchase?
Wow. So I think I actually did not purchase any Bitcoin because I was trying to understand how can I mine it and how can I understand the tech behind it. But my official first purchase was in 2015 October. That was the first time I bought Bitcoin. And at that time, also the exchanges were not really dependable. And my most first 3 or 4 purchase was always from close friends who were way ahead of me, who were mining their own Bitcoin, and they were actually convincing me to that. Why don't you start mining? Just invest couple of machines, rigs, whatever into it, and just start the process. But I think I was too occupied with what I was doing between my ventures in California and Singapore. So I was much later than you, almost a year later. But once I entered, I never looked back. I never took a
Exactly.
break. I kept on looking at what's going on. And it was very exciting for me, this volatile ups and downs, because I have not seen that in any asset class before this.
Yeah, and I actually welcome the ups and downs because I like the downs because they get the weekends out.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
it did scare a lot of good friends and family and people who I love and respect. And they actually, so, a lot of people were impatient, and a lot of people actually booked their losses in 2018 and 19. And I feel very bad that I wish they would have just been patient, but something was playing on their mind. And especially those who bought the top and sold the bottom, it's very unfortunate that they will have so much of remorse and regret towards this. And I tell them that, guys, these are decisions which you took. Nobody forced you to do it. The idea was that you had lost money on paper, but if you
Yes.
didn't sell it, you had not booked the loss. You
Can I
didn't go and do
can,
it.
can I tell you a story? So that
Yes.
last time we met in Prague, it was I think it was December of 2017 or 20
Yes.
maybe it was December 2018. The second time we met, it was right before Christmas, And that was actually our toughest time financially that we had since we've been married, my wife Annabelle and I. And because we were 100% we're crazy. We're 100% in crypto. And that was right after Bitcoin had hit the bottom. I think it was 3,400 or 3,300. Yeah. When we left for our trip to Europe, Bitcoin was over 6,000. And we were sitting at our hotel in Krakow, Poland, and we were just watching Bitcoin take a nosedive. And I only had brought one Bitcoin with me for the whole trip. And I thought $6,000 would be enough for the whole trip. And it ended up not being that. And it was a real struggle we had to really pinch euros while we were over there. And when I saw you, that was our lowest point in our marriage as far as having disposable income. But we still had a great time in Europe, but we were really pinching those euros.
Yeah, but I think that's so, the good part is that you didn't become a disbeliever, or you didn't want to quit the industry.
Yeah.
And a lot of people got emotionally entangled, and they got angry, and they thought they are being scammed. And I know a lot of people who sold between 4,000 and 3,300, 3,200, and they never entered the market back again. And I think that's a very bad move. Crypto market in a way also is a very powerful instrument from taking the money from impatient person and passing it to the patient person.
Yes.
And I've seen this for almost 6 years now. And it's very important to be patient. It's very important to be emotionally disconnect from what's happening with your portfolio. And I think everybody wants to time the market, but we really can't. Sometimes we get lucky with it, but I can never take the credit that, wow, I'm accurate on all my calls. And I see so many people on crypto Twitter, talking about this, sold the bottom or sold the top, bought the bottom. And I don't know how many people can you believe about these things anymore?
No, there's only a few people in crypto I trust. I believe, I was telling you about Hex the other night. Richard Hart, he's the one that made the big call. He called a $20,000 Christmas back in 2017. He called it, I think, 3 or 4 months before it actually happened. And then, he tweeted right when he's like, this is the top. And he got out, and people that followed him made a lot of money. So that's when he launched his project, Hex. I jumped on board because it's exactly everything we're talking about here. But before we go on a segue, we need to talk about DeFiBench.
Sure.
We don't want to spend the whole time talking about our histories in crypto. But can you tell me about why you started DeFiBench? What is it, and what prompted you to start it?
So I think the premise was simple. I was toying with the DeFi space since its inception. The problem was the space was too small. There was not enough liquidity. There were not enough opportunities which are validated or verified, and there was not enough traction. And the moment the traction started picking up in January this year, and from January now, we have come a crazy percentage gain has happened in the whole industry. But one of the most interesting thing I believe that a lot of DeFi products I saw out there were dependent on one single vertical, or they were too complex for a general crypto person. I'm not even talking about a noob. I'm talking about somebody who's in crypto for 5 years to understand and get into DeFi immediately. And when I looked at the whole process of yield farming, lending, staking, all of that thing going on within the space, most of that sounded very exciting and very risky. But the whole system has more or less been designed for geeks or people who are really way ahead of the curve. So yes, the general public who are in crypto, who really want to participate, they did not have much opportunity. And we said, okay, here's opportunity. We are going to create a one-stop shop DeFi ecosystem. We are going to create literally a one-click yield farming, one-click staking, one-click lending and borrowing within the system, the decentralized asset management part. And we are going to do everything else that we believe or we are passionate about and build those components into ecosystem. So the top 3 focus area was pretty clear from day one. Decentralized asset management, NFT with digital art primarily in focus, other use cases will follow, and DEX. And this was very exciting opportunity. We realized Uniswap was rising pretty quickly, and then it also went down pretty quickly with volumes ups and down. But I personally feel DEX are here to stay for a much longer period. And if you are able to deliver something which is highly secured and lucrative, people will jump onto it, and extremely user friendly, which is very important.
Can I say something about a DEX? I was telling you last night that I think that we are moving away from the centralized landscape to a decentralized landscape when it comes to exchanges. And the simpler they are to use, the better. I think once you use Uniswap one time, it's the simplest thing ever. You just connect your MetaMask wallet and you do your trades. And since I got into Hex, that we're the ones that made Uniswap popular because we were talking about it every day on Twitter. And I believe that a simple to use exchange where you do not have to have an intermediary, there is no third party that you have to take your coins, deposit them on, let them sit there, make a trade, then take your coins off. And during that time, you're at risk because your coins are on a third party's platform. I think that this is where DeFi is so important. This is where we have to go if we want credibility and for this to really explode. And we have to educate too. We have to teach people, look, your money, you shouldn't have control over it.
I fully agree with this, Randy, what you said, that, you know, the reason we all started believing in this space much more was financial sovereignty or financial freedom, but also controlling your finances or your assets, and not just banking on a centralized exchange. No matter how good or bad that exchange is, nothing against anybody here. But the moment you are putting all your assets again at a central point of failure, or maybe not, but still not in your control, I strongly believe not your keys, not your coins. Very important. And I think DEX is really bringing that back. It's happening, everything on chain. There is no third party. And I think this is really going to bring so much of transparency and credibility, like you mentioned. And it's also great for the industry. And I don't mean DEX where you can create, you know, a DEX out of your own protocol or your own token. I don't think those are really 100% independent DEX. A DEX needs to be ERC20 standard. And of course, now we'll see many DEX. We are also toying with Polka dot environment right now. So all those things will come up. But a lot of companies have completely got the meaning of DEX again wrong. And they are creating their own DEX on their own centralized token and linking everything to it. That actually beats the whole purpose of decentralized exchange once again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let's talk a little about NFTs. NFTs are freaking exploding. We're seeing some being sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it blows my mind that someone will buy a digital asset that's worth $300,000, $400,000. What is DeFiBench going to do concerning NFTs?
So very good question. And I'm glad you asked me this because a lot of people, when they see NFT, they think, oh, you are designing a tool or a platform for people to maybe modify a JPEG and call it an NFT. First of all, that's not even NFT. That's something weird going on in the market on the parallel side. Second, everybody thinks we are going to be another marketplace like Nifty or Rarible or Super Rare. No, we are not doing any of this. This was a conscious decision from day one. We are not a marketplace. We don't provide tools to create NFT. We are following the Netflix approach to NFT, which means we are creating content that we believe in with content creators that we believe in. So we are working with the top global 3D motion graphic, traditional artists, digital artists already for the last 5 months who have the same passion and the same vision. We are creating extremely lucrative and very, very sexy NFTs. Some of them are already out. If you can see our NFTs on YouTube, the one which is based on the founder of Wi-Fi and KP3R, Cronje. We also have released one more NFT which is based on CZ, the CEO of Binance. And we have also released some NFT which are designed by Primal Cypher, one of the leading NFT artists, who has commissioned a complete new series based on his very successful series 2 years ago, but with a complete twist which synchronizes and matches with our vision. And he's launching 34 different unique NFTs with us. They're already delivered to us. So the idea was that we want to create a very unique content platform, which our focus is to create content which is exclusively available only if you are an EDDA token holder. So you cannot buy our NFTs or redeem them unless you own EDDA token. That is your first point of getting your hands onto those NFTs. After that, You are free to go to any marketplace in the world and sell them for Ethereum, Bitcoin, or whatever you want to do it with that. Uh, so it's a very unique.
As somebody that's on DeFiBench, and I want to buy this NFT, I have to be a EDDA or EDDA token holder in order to purchase it. But after that, I'm free to do what I want.
Correct. So technically, we are not even selling them. So we are investing a lot of money into the NFT space. I would say literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. It might sound foolish, but it's a fact. And what we are doing is that these NFTs are not even sold to you. They can only be earned or they can only be farmed. When you stake your EDDA token, there are two different kind of vaults on the DeFiBench platform. One is a vault for normal EDDA token holder who wants to simply stake the EDDA token. And there are two clear advantages. One, that you know that we are only a 5,000 token supply venture. It's audited contract. Nobody can change them. There is no further minting capabilities. Out of these 5,000 tokens, 20% of the supply, 1,000 tokens, will be distributed within the first 60 to 90 days as rewards to these two different vaults. One, which is a simple EDDA staking, which by the way is live from day zero. We are not going to wait 2 years to launch our staking mechanism. It's already functional. And second, if you provide liquidity on any DEX like Uniswap or any other existing DEX, including ours, with ETH pair, then you also have the liquidity pool mining benefits. And this NFTs can be only redeemed by these two individual entities. So if you are staking your regular EDDA tokens in our vault or providing liquidity in a LP provider, you are able to mine specific NFTs, farm them, and own them. There is no way we are selling them. And we have spent insane amount of time, effort, and money creating this entire platform and the NFTs.
Wow, I have some friends like Dollar Cost Crypto. That's what he goes by, or Litecoin Moses also. He's a big NFT guy. And when I show this to him, he's going to get quite excited.
Yes, please show him the Cronje NFT, which has a lot of Easter eggs in it about KP3R, about Wi-Fi, about EDDA, about our company. And a lot of people who've seen this so far have absolutely gone berserk. The music is original. We have licensed video. The 3D graphics have been created from scratch. So it's very powerful. It's already on YouTube. I can send you the link immediately after the call.
Sure. I'll put them in the links below. Now, the EDDA token sale is happening right now. Could you explain the token and its benefits? And that the 5,000, I've never heard of such a slow token supply. So go into that and explain a little bit why you guys did that and the rest of the information for the token sale.
So yes, to answer one, the EDDA token sale is happening right now. With regards to 5,000, we realized that we want to bring a lot of credibility back, which has been lost from the DeFi space because of a lot of bad actors out there. And the reason we came up with this token economics was to focus on the token velocity. So there are many real features which are going to shock people if they understand our white paper, or if they understand our light paper, or if they read through our Medium articles. It's all publicly explained there. Problem is people don't want to read anything and they don't understand what's going on. So 5,000 token supply, all the tokens have, the token has a very powerful native quality throughout the entire ecosystem. NFT can be only redeemed if you own EDDA. If you stake EDDA, you are getting almost 20% of the supply distributed to all the people who are staking EDDA tokens in first 90 days. So that's huge benefit. If you calculate the API, it's through the roof. The token velocity will constantly be exciting. Let me share one feature with you, which we have explained, but not many people have understood this. So today, a lot of DEX, what they do, that when you provide LP, you get certain remuneration back. And then certain fees are kept by the DEX owners themselves. What we are doing is that most of the services provided by people who are engaging or participating in the DEX goes to them. And any part of the fees which come back to us, we are not keeping those funds. Those funds are instantly utilized on an automatic basis to go out and market buy EDDA token from the open market. So this is pretty crazy, because if you understand that every time you are creating a revenue, you are benefiting from it, and the revenue share that remains for the company is 100% utilized to market buy the tokens from the open market of a 5,000 token supply company, which is pretty solid. So I think token velocity, credibility, transparency, and trying to make a point that you don't need 500 million or 900 billion tokens to run a successful company. And I think especially NFT, DEX, and the decentralized asset management, all three have so much of usage and integration of the EDDA core token, which will really excite people, especially those who understand this. Those who don't possibly will come in at a later stage, but they will be excited to own some part of it for sure.
For sure, for sure. And for me, I think my personal goal for my family should be between 5 and 10 EDDA tokens. And at the current price at the token sale, I believe it's 1.25 ETH. Is that correct?
That's correct.
1.25 ETH during the token sale. So I find that, I just find it highly interesting. The way you guys, the approach that you guys took, the buyback idea is something I love. There's other projects that have been talking about doing it. I haven't seen it put into action too much, but I think it's going to be a way going forward for companies to reward the holders of their tokens. It just makes sense to do that, to do the buyback. So I think that's just a great idea and something smart for you guys to do. So when does the token sale end? How much time do we have left?
So on that point, I'll just give you a precursor to the earlier answer. One more point, that out of 5,000, 20% of the token supply, which is 1,000 tokens, are already reserved for rewards. We are only selling 3,250 tokens right now in this sale. And the entire team of almost 7 people, actually 9 people now, collectively, we own 250 tokens between all of us, which is less than 25 tokens or 30 tokens each, which are locked and will open up only after 3 or 4 months in a cliff period. So practically, we have no tokens till maybe 6 months. And when we have it, we will have like 25, 30, 32 tokens each, including me. So this is something which also is very publicly been explained, and we stick to it no matter what. The token sale is on right now. I'll share the URL if you can post it. And it ends on 31st December. So that's it. We have around 15 and a half days left now for the same.
Wow, this is, I know that we're going into a bull run because all these projects, I was talking with you about this project in 2017 and 2018, and it's finally coming to fruition. And like many people, you waited until the market was starting to get exciting again. It just made sense. As well, I did the same thing with some of the stuff that I'm working on. It just makes sense. We're going into a beginning of a bull market. This is the time to get your product out there and start building.
Yes. So I think we utilized the last few months on building, self-funding it. Most of our team, which has normally been very crypto rich, is unfortunately crypto poor at the moment, where everybody's putting so much of funds into the venture. And we've self-funded the whole business from scratch. And the idea was that we wanted to make sure that we are not going to tell people that once our token sale is over, we need 6 months to launch things. We are already in test net for decentralized asset management and NFT platform. It is going into audit in 2 to 3 weeks from now, and it will be on mainnet within 30 days of the token sale completed. So, I mean, some of the largest ICO funded companies took 2.5 years to roll out their product, and some of them have still not rolled them out. We are rolling out in 30 days of token sale completion, and we already finished building all of that.
There's a couple that I like to cough, say, but I'm not going to say their names because I don't want to get any of the haters in my.
Are you talking about a multi-billion year-long ICO company?
Yeah. What a joke. But I know many of my followers, many people that watch my videos are Hex owners. These people are in Hex, and I want them to let them know that I actually approached you, asking you if when the DEX launches, that Hex could be one of the primary coins that gets launched at the beginning. And because the Hex community is smart, the Hex community rewards you with their attention if you pay attention to them. And I think it's just really odd that the crypto world is not accepting the Hex community. Uniswap doesn't even have us listed. You have to go in and put the token address in, or you have to use the one inch exchange.
Oh, even now.
Even now, yeah. CoinMarketCap has Hex listed at 200. Nomics has us listed at 15. So this is the elephant in the room that nobody's paying attention to. And I'm telling you that if you guys launch and from the beginning you come to us at the Hex community and say, hey, look guys, you're welcome here with open arms, and we will reward you with our attention. I'm telling you.
I fully believe in what you're saying. I personally feel Richard Hart is a great serial entrepreneur. A lot of people don't understand him. He's definitely one of the sharpest guys in the crypto community. And he really believes in what he's saying, and he constantly executes that. A lot of people, I don't know why people are calling Hex scam since day one.
Oh no.
I think most of them have never understood what's happening with Hex. Yeah. And those who have understood have already made few 100% gains since the launch. So I personally feel we are a very fair free market ecosystem. We don't want to block anybody, and we will be more than happy to have Hex onto our DEX, and we will support the entire Hex community fully. We have nothing against anybody. In fact, we have launched another feature which we are testing right now, is our liquidity lock. This doesn't specifically apply to Hex, but today, you know what's happening in the DeFi space on Uniswap, and a lot of people are investing in a token which is not even existing after 2 weeks or
and then they get rug pulled. That's the term.
Right.
They get rug
so
pulled.
Because people are getting rug pulled and stuff like that, we have created liquidity lock on the DEX, that if you as a venture or a company owner want to legitimize yourself and earn respect from everybody out there, you use the liquidity lock tool. You lock your token supply and you tell that publicly the information till how much time have you locked it. We can verify that and we can share it with everybody. So even the investors feel safe. And I think there are many such features which are part of our DEX, which we will share everything as early as February or March before the launch. And I think it's going to be very exciting. So yes, let all the Hex community guys come, give us a hug, share some love with us, and we are more than happy and excited to bring them on board. And we will walk through and honor this commitment for any crypto who's doing great work out there. I think the free market approach should be applied. We don't want to play your favorites and what we feel and what crypto Twitter thinks. If you have something which is functional, you are a legitimate company, please come and join hands, combine forces.
Yeah, I'm tired of the gatekeeping. It's really absurd. We didn't see that back in 2013, 2014, 2015. I got it in 2014 when I first buy, but I was watching crypto before that. And you really didn't see these things where companies were blocking people from using certain cryptos just because they didn't like them. At least I didn't see it. It really didn't become apparent, I think, until late 2017, or with the whole BCH scandal, Bitcoin Cash and all that. And that's when we started seeing the tribalism show up, and people over here, because they're over here, they don't want to support this other project. And, oh, this can't come on our exchange because we don't agree with it. That type of thing. So I'm glad that you guys aren't going to be like that. Free markets win every time.
I strongly believe in it, Randy, 100% with you on that. And one of the most interesting point you just said about BCH or Bitcoin Cash, most of these companies who are maybe not supporting Hex or many other innovation out there actually went ahead and supported this Bitcoin forks for two reasons only: to make a lot of revenue from the trading and to support these scams. I mean, whatever you want to call it, I want to take anybody's side. For me, there's only one Bitcoin, and there will always be one Bitcoin, and there is everything else is not a Bitcoin, which is a fork, hard fork, or whatever you call it. But most of this so-called large centralized exchanges supported this fork, made serious money from the trading opportunity, distributed those tokens. So I think that really shows that, like, what are you supporting? You are not supporting innovation, you are not supporting free market, and you are supporting couple of multi-millionaire, billionaire launched Bitcoin fork or a scammy Bitcoin version just to make some money out of it, which I think is really, really not a great approach. And, at some point your higher self will look down upon you that, wow, you did this in your life. I mean, not worth it.
Exactly. We won't talk about all the names.
And I think everybody has their own freedom and their own power and their own money to do what they want at their own whims and fancy. But I feel that uh, we should focus on doing good things, staying grounded, and constantly keep on the innovation and building
Yes.
while
Yes.
making sure our consciousness is active and our integrity is intact.
Absolutely. All right. So Mike, you're in Prague. I know you've got beautiful Christmas going on over there that we were supposed to be there right now. we
Yes, I was
chose.
hoping you'll be buying a house next to mine in like 2 months ago when we discussed
Yeah,
this.
we were hoping, but because of the situation, we're just not able to. So we decided to come here to Acapulco, and we're loving it. We're in Mexico, but if things quiet down, we'll be back over soon to see you in person, and hopefully by then, EDDA token will be flying.
Absolutely. I mean, we are pretty confident about what we already finished building, and with such a low token supply and so many token velocity trigger features into it, we are confident about it. But I do look forward to seeing you, Anna, Maximus, in person. If you guys are not coming to Prague, then I'm going to come to Mexico and
Please.
spend weekend with you and enjoy the sea.
Yes, sir. All right, everybody, check out the links below, DeFiBench.com, and it's got all the information you need. Also follow them on Twitter. I think it's at DeFiBench, right? That's the one you got. You guys actually got the good handle. That's perfect.
Yeah, DeFiBench.com, at DeFiBench, token name is EDDA, and we'll share all the links. I would appreciate if you can share the NFTs, which have really created a huge momentum in the last few days.
Absolutely, I will. They're beautiful. Wow. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording now. Cheers.
Thanks, Andy. See you. Bye.
Bye.